So for question 3, I'm going to be talking about how my production skills developed throughout my project, and I can say very briefly that every single stage from pre-production to post-production gave me some form of knowledge and skills in terms of how to filmmake successfully. And yeah, I'm going to walk you through it now. So immediately my preliminary tasks and my drafts that I made on my phone before I went on the Canon 5D were very beneficial in terms of gaining me skills and knowledge on the editing process and how to follow the rules of continuity editing. I edited these preliminary tasks and the drafts on mobile applications like CapCut, and they gave me a head start into what like directing is like as well, not only with the editing obviously, but really taking control of, you know, telling what my actor to do and what I want them to say. And I think it was very helpful in giving me kind of just that brief outlook in terms of what the real thing would be like. Using YouTube and watching tips on how to edit on like Premiere Pro, which I knew I've heard of but I didn't use before, but kind of just watching YouTube videos on how to use that software in advance kind of allowed me to kind of have another insight as well, which is really useful. And also how to use the camera correctly, which was very, very important because I knew for certain that I wanted to film my project on a professional camera, which, you know, subsequently I would have used the Canon 5D, which worked out very well. But watching these videos really helped me to develop my production skills prior to even starting my actual project, which was very useful and provided me skills in advance and prepared me for the official shooting day. Storyboards and shot lists were also very helpful for me, as they not only developed my skills but also my ideas too, because I kind of managed to portray my creative vision on a blank canvas and kind of develop it slowly and kind of erase it and edit it up and change it and do exactly how I wanted. And it gave me just an extra boost when it came to actually creating my script and brainstorming my ideas for my narrative, so that when I actually came to shooting, I know exactly what to do, when and where, what angle, kind of what I wanted the actor to do in the shot. It was very, very useful, and it also just assisted on the faster development of my film. In terms of actually organising actors and locations, that I think was a huge bit for me, as it helped me to, you know, manage my time to mark deadlines and be kind of a professional director and be assertive with how I wanted to convey the story that I wanted to tell. It was a really different experience for me, as I don't think I've ever been put in a position to ever direct anything. So it really kind of taught me how to take control of a set and be director to allow the production to run very smoothly. A lot of my skills, I'd say, definitely came from shooting time, because it was the first time I had actually properly used the Canon 5D, and I used other equipments like the Rode mic and the tripod. The Rode mic allowed me to incorporate free sound into my project, and the tripod allowed me to stabilize my camera for the certain shots that I wanted to stay static. Using the Canon 5D more and more every single day, because I think I shot within 4 days. So using the Canon 5D throughout all those 4 days allowed me to get used to the actual technicalities of using a professional camera rather than using an iPhone, which I was more used to. And it allowed me to, you know, kind of focus on certain subjects that were in a shot, and it was really, really cool. I was able to experiment with new camera movements and things that I never used before, and it was very, very useful. And lastly, I think a lot, as well as the shooting time, I think post-production was also a huge thing for me in terms of actually developing my production skills, because this is when it was a proper nitty-gritty stuff where I had to get into the editing and really starting to prepare to actually have my production come out perfectly the way I wanted to. I utilised applications like Runway AI, which I use for my idents, and Premiere Pro for the editing. As I mentioned earlier, I had heard of Premiere Pro, but I never used it. I was more used to using mobile applications like CapCut and iMovie, and the more I used these software applications on the iMac like Premiere Pro, it really helped me to step out my comfort zone and be able to create something with better quality and more tools to use, which were very, very cool. Using Premiere Pro also allowed me to use letterboxing, which are kind of these, it's like the black rectangular boxes that you see on the top and bottom when you're watching a film. Usually people don't notice it, but Premiere Pro actually allowed me to do that, which you don't really get with many other applications and softwares, which was very, very cool, and that really was beneficial for my production skills. I could tell that it really pushed me to develop my skills, because at the start I found it so difficult, but towards the end and after weeks and weeks of editing and perfecting my production and my project, I really found it so easy and I went through it so smoothly and quickly. And these softwares that I taught myself to use, because I kind of had to be very independent with the editing, and these softwares that I taught myself to use were just very helpful for my skill development, because they allowed my piece to be a lot more cinematic in contrast to possibly editing and filming it on my phone. So overall, I think my production skills developed so much, and the knowledge that I have now compared to how I was at the beginning of my project don't compare. Like, I feel like I could totally create a new film now very confidently and edit very confidently on new softwares, as I mentioned, with like Premiere Pro. And I think this has helped me a lot, and my production skills have developed in a way that I never thought would. So I'm very, very happy with where this project has taken me.